You know what surprises me the most is that Donald Trump's entire family are immigrants to this country. And he's dealing with the current immigration issue as if, they're dealing with some sort of animals, some sort of, objects or some sort of unimportant, class of people. I'm all for legal immigration. I'm all for protecting the borders. But there are ways of doing things right. It's not the right way to put out an army of ICE and FBI and Homeland Security agents in downtown LA or in, small cities of Los Angeles, I don't know, Montebello, Huntington Park, Southgate, so on and so forth, and go to Home Depots and snatch hardworking people right out of their area where they're trying to find a job and feed their families here and feed their families abroad. They may have been coming here illegally, but that doesn't give the government the right to come and snatch people and put them away and send them out. If you want to do that, do it in a different way. Do it in a civil way. Do it in a way where, people are not fearing the government. All this country is about that for us, and including myself, including my family, and every single other person maybe watching this, is that we immigrated to this country because this country is a country with a set of laws and set of rules, and nobody is above the law. And what I see right now is like the 1990s Moscow or Russia, where, you can be walking down any Moscow street and any legal officer, police officer, whoever, works for the government can actually stop you and say, hey, show me your paperwork if you're legal here or not. And if you're not, you got to be either sent, you either go to jail or you get sent back to your country. And that's exactly what's happening right now here in America, the country of opportunities, the country of the American dream, or, what our president says, the golden age of America right now. I don't think this is the golden age. This doesn't represent golden age. This doesn't represent what he ran for in the very beginning. And my call also, goes out to the people that are protesting. You want to protest? That's fine. Protest civilly. Civil disobedience is not the way for you to protest. You want your message to go across? Protest in a way that people actually respect your voice. If you're going to tag all over the city, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I was just in downtown, just literally like a few hours ago. The entire city of Los Angeles is full of taggings of F this, F that, and so on and so forth. Did MLK tag Alabama? Did MLK tag Washington, D.C.? Did Rosa Parks tag buses? No, she didn't. She protested silently, civilly, in peace. Did Nelson Mandela ruin his country? You love this country this much? You're against Trump this much? Show them in a respectful manner. Show them in a way that you can have a seat at the table. Do you think cursing out those police officers or those DHS workers or those, whoever those law enforcement people are is going to make a change? No, it's not going to make no change. But if you go out there and you protest civilly and peacefully, that's what's going to make a change. That's when people are going to take you seriously. These people that are protesting over there, I think they're most likely even, bought and paid for. Do you think people just randomly on a Monday or a Tuesday go out there and just, some of them maybe because, they're truly passionate about it, and that's fantastic. But please don't do that. Don't trash your city. Don't ruin your city. That's not the right way. And Trump's way of taking care of this business is not the right way either. Those people are hardworking immigrants, which may have come here illegally, and I understand that. And we should all, migrate to this country in a legal manner. But if those people, are here and they're working their asses off, they're trying to feed their family, they're trying to, make sure their kids have a brighter future because they couldn't have one in Mexico or El Salvador or wherever they're coming from. It doesn't give this government the chance and the opportunity or the right to go snatch people illegally and just throw them in a bus and take them to the federal building and say you're going to be sent back to wherever you came from. There is no such a thing as a race American. It doesn't exist. There's a country called America. There's a country called the United States of America. Every single immigrant here is as American as the president and his family and as any white person out there. Just because, you know, somebody is here legally or somebody came here illegally doesn't make them un-American. You know, people come here, they live here for generations, they become more part of this country. You know, when people ask me, you know, where's your homeland? My homeland is America. My motherland is Armenia. But this is the country that feeds me. This is the country that puts food on my table. Yes, I will help Armenia in every single way. And I have, and I will do so, and I still do until today. But this is the country that puts food on my table. You know, this is the country that feeds my family. This is the country that gives me an opportunity. And I am as American as any other person that considered themselves the most patriotic person out there. And so are those Home Depot workers. And so are their kids. And so are their relatives. And so are their wives. You know, and their brothers and sisters, you know, they come here to make a change for themselves. Yes, again, I totally agree with the fact that we should have strict immigration laws. We should have legal immigrants coming here. But just because Joe Biden was delusional and he was an idiot and he let more people come to the U.S. illegally compared to the past, you know, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, it doesn't mean that we should take this route. This is not the right way. This is absolutely not the right way. And people saying, you know, look at these people protesting. So, yeah, they're idiots. Those people protesting like that and, you know, throwing rocks at police officers and throwing, you know, different type of, solid items to hurt them. And they're complaining why they're getting arrested. Well, you want to protest? I'm telling you, go protest civilly. Protest like Martin Luther King, protest like Rosa Parks, protest like Nelson Mandela, protest in a way where people listen to you. You being aggressive and you being, you know, violent is not going to make anybody listen to you. They're going to think you're just another unimportant individual. You know, you tagging the entire city of Los Angeles is not going to make people be on the same page. People become on the same page when you talk to them in a civil, logical, you know, you provide a good argument and say why you're against this. Being violent is not the right way. And my message to the Trump administration is that this is not right. This is not the right way to deal with this issue. Immigration is a big problem, but please remember that this country is full of immigrants. This country was built by immigrants. This country's future is being built by immigrants. You know, your former best friend Elon Musk is an immigrant. You know, your current wife is an immigrant. Your previous wife is an immigrant. Your mother is an immigrant. Your grandfather is an immigrant. I just want you to remember that every single person here is an immigrant. The founding fathers of this country were immigrants from Europe. There's no race American. There's a people that are called American. There's a country that are called American, but there's no such a thing as a race. You know, there are Italians, there are Greeks, you know, there are French people, there are Germans, but there's no such a thing as American because since the inception of this country in 1776, everybody was an immigrant until today.